Let's get more on Prince's legacy. We're joined by Mitchell Knox. He's a digital editor for the Australia-based magazine The Music, and he's also a lifelong fan of the musician. Many thanks for joining us, Mitchell. We got a flavour there in that piece of how much Prince's music meant to people. How influential a musician was he?
Well, I think it's hard to put, a specific measurement on how influential Prince really was. He was transcendent. There was no one like him, really. He was unique. He was inimitable. His legacy transcends it goes beyond music to pop culture and cinema and TV, and he was just such a tiny giant, I guess, is the way to call it. Physically, he was quite a diminutive man, but his presence was just so massive that his death is being felt so powerfully all around the world. Waking up to the news here in Australia was an absolute shock. We started our day this morning with the news that Prince had passed away, and over the consequent hours, tributes have been pouring in. The Arts Centre here in Melbourne will be lighting up its spire. It'll be lit purple tonight in honour of Prince, as well as that. The Orpheum Cinema in Sydney will be showing a very special screening of Prince's film Purple Rain. That was his debut movie, as I was talking about him doing cinema as well. So, this is just a massive event, easily on the scale of, the loss of David Bowie, the loss of Michael Jackson, and before that, even Elvis and John Lennon.
He had tremendous respect in the musical community, didn't he? He played so many instruments, didn't he?
He absolutely did. This is the thing I think that was such a key about Prince's, his popularity. There was that he not only wrote such fantastic pop music that had great accessibility for people who just enjoy a catchy tune, but he really was a musician's musician. He was a virtuoso at several instruments, notably the guitar. He was a fantastic guitarist, and possibly an underrated guitarist at that. He got a lot of cred for his songwriting and his performance and his general sort of swagger and aesthetic, but yes, his talents were just mammoth, and absolutely, I think that sort of has played into his wide and lasting appeal in the sense that both people who love music from a very technical and deeper standpoint love him, and people who just enjoy, catchy songs that you can have a fun little jam out to.
Mitchell, we don't have much time left. Tell us a bit about his social, cultural effect, because he broke boundaries also by the way he dressed and about the things he sang about as well.
Absolutely. He was provocative, he was sensual, he was all about empowerment, and he was a very, very colorful individual at a time, where he actually kind of railed against a lot of social norms, and always railed against conservatives and conservative opinions, and, was very much about people being the best them that they could be. And, he had very, very sexual themes in his music. There's possibly apocryphal tale, that Prince was responsible for ratings being introduced onto songs, that, for songs and albums to have these sort of age ratings and such was almost a direct result of his, very provocative and sensual lyrics. As I said, that's possibly apocryphal, but even if it's not, you could believe it happening, for someone like Prince. He was just such a standout performer and had, so many unique and prolific, I guess. He put out so many albums over the course of his career that he was essentially a musical chameleon, and it would be impossible, one version of Prince is so different from every other version of Prince, yet all combined to make this icon. Okay,
Mitchell, many thanks for joining us. Mitchell Knox there, a musical writer, joining us from Australia.